He's a tactical genius, he's the one to see on VP4TV. He's wild and he's free. I'm on top, number you and me. With his cunning moves, he's rocking endlessly. Tables and cues, they bend to his will. Every shot he takes gives everyone a thrill. With a glance and aim, he works to the skill. In the ball, legend from the chill. Tables and cues, they bend to his will. Every shot he takes gives everyone a thrill. With a glance and aim, he works to the skill. In the ball, legend from the chill. Tactical genius with every play, making magic happen every single day. In the world of billiards, he knows the way, taking every shot with prayers we say. Rack him up, he steps to the ground. Crowds gather round without a sound. With a twisted stroke, his fame is profound. Every victory makes our hearts pound. From the quarterback to the perfect cut, he wins the game without a single strut. Chalk it up, just for fortune or luck, but skill like his, it never gets stuck. On VP4TV, he's the showstopper. 9ball.com's the king, no one can top her. Watch him play and you'll be a hopper. He's the man we all shout proper. Every shot with prayers we say. Rack him up, he steps to the ground. Crowds gather round without a sound. With a twisted stroke, his fame is profound. Every victory makes our hearts pound. Rack him up, he steps to the ground. Crowds gather round without a sound. With a twisted stroke, his fame is profound. Every victory makes our hearts pound. Rack him up, he steps to the ground. Crowds gather round without a sound. With a twisted stroke, his fame is profound. Every victory makes our hearts pound. He wins the game without a single strut. Chalk it up, just for fortune or luck, but skill like his, it never gets stuck. On VP4TV, he's the showstopper. 9ball.com's the king, no one can top her. Watch him play and you'll be a hopper. He's the man we all shout proper.
ATG from Kilmarnock town, got your hustle down. Streams the pool games live, makes our day come alive. Early mornings on your grind, Tesco shift unwind, but you find the time to play, stream the virtual day. OTG tactical genius, every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there. Virtual cue in your hand.
And that's a sucker scratch. Look at the lights. Commentator's eye. Don't say I didn't warn you.
OTG tactical genius. Every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there. Virtual cue in your hand. Amazing shots you land. From your home to our screens, living out our pool dreams. Early riser, work all done. Streams the games just for fun. We'll cheer for you every match. TG, you've got the magic touch. OTG tactical genius. Every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there. OTG tactical genius. Every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there.
minutes for the 101. Absolutely sensational once again.
Virtual cue in your hand, amazing shots you land. From your home to our screens, living out our pool dreams. Early riser, work all done. Streets of games just for fun. We'll cheer for you every match. TG, you've got the magic touch. OTG, tactical genius. Every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there.
That was fantastic.
Where's the cue ball going?
Oh dear, outside, never mind.
Well, good afternoon or good early evening, folks. Welcome back to VP4TV. We're here for the semi-final match in this year's 2025 Virtual Cowboy World Championship. We've got defending champion Cobra through to the final, his third final in a row. More about that in a minute. Coldest Pillow, the rookie, on his first outing at Cowboy and has done very well to get this far. But he's up against it tonight against VPMonster. But VPMonster has his vulnerabilities, and Coldest Pillow's task is simply to take advantage of them all if he can, and to score quite heavily when he gets opportunities. He doesn't necessarily have to score heavy all the time. All he really needs to do is to stay in touch with Monster till it gets close to the carom phase, and then it's anybody's if he gets that far. But if he lets Monster get to the carom phase too many times, he's going to be in the losing side. One thing to mention about the third final in a row for Cobra. The interesting thing I found out is, and I didn't realise this myself, because I have been talking all the way through the tournament that he's going for his third in a row. And that is a fact, that is correct. But having looked back at the tournaments, there was a Cowboy tournament last year, but there wasn't one in 2023. For some strange reason, I don't know why. It's not. There isn't one listed there. But there was one in 2022, which Cobra won. That was his first time ever in a Cowboy tournament. And he won that one. There was none in 2023, so he didn't get to defend his title then. I don't know why we didn't do one then. And then we had it last year, and of course we've got it this year. So he is on for defending his title for the second time, effectively making it 3 in a row. And well, you would have to think that Monster has the best chance of doing that, but Monster's vulnerabilities are there. But he has played fairly solidly in his last couple of matches. Of course, Monster got to the semi-final by taking out Interchange X, who by 3 racks to 1, who I believe still holds a high run for the tournament of 91. So it doesn't look as if anybody's going to beat that. We're running out of racks to do it. And Coldest Pillow, who has just said that he was away on vacation after his hot seat match defeat to Cobra. So he's back. And, well, he's certainly making it known that he's here. But Monster is there in away mode, probably just waiting on the room going up. We've got about another minute or so to go, and that room will go up. It could be a long evening, or it could be a short one, but that's down to Coldest Pillow, I believe. And let's just hope it's a high quality match. So welcome to those watching. Hopefully I'm coming through loud and clear. And hopefully the chat is working, because it doesn't seem to be. Nobody's saying anything. No messages from Steve, so presumably he's busy. And we just wait on this room going up. It should be going up within the next 30-odd seconds. It's not quite the top of the hour yet. And sometimes it just goes on a wee bit longer than what it really should.
No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool. Nothing else.
So the room is up. And we are in straight away. We will have the lag for the break. And let's hope Monster isn't asleep. So we've made sure we've got ourselves in first, ready to go. Coldest pillow has arrived. Let me just test things are working.
Where's the cue ball going?
Yeah, there's a sucker scratch straight away. He doesn't want to do too many of them. And he doesn't want to do too many of them either. Best to get all of that out of his system. So VPMonster representing the United States, Coldest pillow representing Wales. And Monster has arrived. He's on the right-hand side of the screen with the black shaft. And of course, important to win the lag, but Coldest pillow ain't going to win the lag. He's a mile short. And Monster with the first chance. He's going to go with his usual 3-rail break. Sometimes he banks a 3-ball as well at the same time as making the carom to the 1-ball. Hasn't quite got the bank today, but gets the opening shot. And he's off and running. And the one thing about Coldest pillow, we've seen in his matches that he does like to move at a pace. Monster does as well. That's probably because he's used to playing in the cowboy doubles in the morning. When we play doubles, we don't hang around. We like to go on with our shots and get the racks over and done with. So I mean, I'm not expecting this to be a marathon session. Monster has to be careful here that he doesn't go under the back of the 1-ball. I think it's a bit tight anyway. If there was any more space behind that 1-ball, it's very easy to scratch. Doesn't want to go too square either on this along the line. And he's okay. Needs to keep a ball in play though for a pot. Well, he's got a pot on the 3-ball and he's got a thin cut in the 5. Would I like something a bit more comfortable? This is Monster's vulnerability in cowboy, the potting side of things. But it doesn't matter how good you are, if you don't leave yourself a fairly comfortable pot, you're always going to struggle. He's back in business. Well, he'll get the 1-ball back on its spot. And the only problem is he's thin in the cut here, so he's got to watch the cue ball and where he wants to be leaving it. He's obviously trying to leave the 1 to the 5. That's not bad. You just got to watch how he hits the 5-ball, though. You can glance out as he's chickened out, he's bottled out, and lost his points. And the reason he done that is, okay, he can blame the mouse or whatever, but what I was just mentioning there is if you play that carom to the 5 and you hit it top of the 5, you're going to scratch, and that's what he was scared about. And watch the cue ball.
Where's the cue ball going?
And Monster's start has gone straight down the pan. And luckily for him, he didn't have a whole barload of points to lose, but Coldest Pillow's simply got to take advantage of this. And he's not going to do it, though, because he's missed the carom. Just 5 points on the board, so Monster will be glad he's been let off the hook. But I think Monster was well aware of the danger of that carom he was trying to play onto the 5-ball, and he actually choked on it and didn't go through with the stroke. So he can try and redeem himself, getting that second chance here unexpectedly. But that's one way the match will be prolonged, as if players keep losing their points. We could be here all night. Well, again, he's got a choice here. To me, the obvious one would be potting the 3 to stay above the 5 and 1. Now he's left himself a wee bit more of an angle, and things are just running a wee bit loose doing that. I would have much preferred to have potted the 3 there and stayed up top. Now he's hampered by the 1. He's having to cut the 5. And there endeth the visit. And I think he went about that the wrong way. I think that he should have got rid of the 3-ball and stayed up top, because he could have played 3 to 5, 3 to 1, or 5 to 1. He had all sorts of opportunities by staying up top. And the run was 21. Now it's Coldest Pillow's chance to try and get into the swing of things here and get warmed up. But he's struggling to get good shape for caroms here. He's having to get a bit acrobatic with the cue ball, trying to make caroms. You don't really want to be doing that if you've got the cue ball in the under control. Then you won't be doing stuff like that, playing draws and all sorts to try and get caroms. You're going to have a better line to make those caroms. But you've got to get things under control first. Once again, 5 to 1, and he wants to really glance this fairly soft, just like that. Now, he can actually cut the 1 in and spin down into the kitchen here. That's what he should be doing. If he can cut the 1 in and put a bit of English on it and stay below in the kitchen, he'll have 2 options. If he's going to play the 5, he doesn't look like he's got a good angle in the 5, though. Yeah, again, he's having to start running the cue ball, and it's always
Where's
asking
the cue
for
ball
trouble.
going?
And he's lucky. Again, he's got a similar shot to what he had previously on this 5-1. Again, he wants to push this 1 towards the pocket. Well, now he can... Well, he may well end up doing the same thing again here. Although he's staying on the bottom side of the 5 this time. And 1 ball edges ever closer to the pocket. So now he's going to have to deal with the situation up top, because the 1 ball sort of getting itself out of position, and it's no good there unless, either one of these 2 balls end up back in their spots. And I think he's going to have to go thin. This is dangerous. Yeah, I mean, he can stun down, but if he gets this wrong, he could end up in the pocket. He's got to be careful trying to make it to the 1 ball. We're going to make it. No. So, Coldest Pillow finally gets a little run in the board. It's a slender lead, and he's left an ugly table here for Monster. He can go very thin off the inside of that 5 ball. Very thin. He's trying to actually spin it forward. That's actually quite good because the danger was the 5 ball was going to come back and get in the way. So he's got away with that sort of. And has he got a pot though? Yes, he has. And now if he doesn't get too straight, and that'll do. And he doesn't want the double kiss. He wants to hit an edge of this 5 and get it out into the table. And of course, what's he done? He's hit it full in the face. So if he pots the 3, he's going to leave himself up top. And he's a bit too straight in this 3 ball as well. That's the other problem he's got to deal with. Yeah, this is, again, just threatening to go pear-shaped very early on here. Left himself too straight, couldn't do a lot with the cue ball. But he's got the recovery carom. 1 ball's now dead. This is why it's, you know, Cowboy, to people who have never played it in VP4, Cowboy looks easy. It's far from it when you're playing the alternate version of the game, especially in the 10-foot table. It's so easy to get out of shape. Now, dare Monster have a smack at this 5 ball and try and get the 1 in play, or is he going to pot the 3 and then do the same thing with the 5 and 1? That's what he's trying to do. I think he might be going too straight almost again. He might be too straight. Let's have a look. Well, he's got a slight angle. And he's still got a pot though, which is the most important thing. Well, good evening to Tam. Finally, somebody's actually said something. Did you know that, Tam, that I had been mentioning in the stream that Cobra is going for his 3rd title in a row here at the Cowboy World Championship since he won it the first time round? He won it in 2022. That was his first time playing Cowboy. But I didn't know there wasn't one in 2023. Did you know that? For some reason, we never had a Cowboy World Championship in 2023. He won it last year. He beat Semi-Pro in the final. But there wasn't one in 2023 for some strange reason. I never even knew that. I just thought this was the 3rd year in a row. But anyway, Monster looking to build up this lead now that he has the lead. It's only a 12-point lead at the moment, and it's still not 100% guaranteed because he's got to keep the points first of all. And having to make a recovery pot, which this time he's got, and that's a good one. I mean, it wasn't an easy pot, but if you can dig out those pots, that's the one big advantage of being able to put runs together. Trying to keep at least 1 ball available for a pot. And the good thing now is if he cuts this 5 in and stays below the 5, which I think he might not quite be doing, is he? Yeah, he's got it. Now, these are not easy to judge. And that's why. Because it's an uncommon angle. It's not the angle that you're used to. And you have to judge those immediately. And that's the end of the visit. The run is 30, but the lead is only 21. and this is what I was talking about before the start of the match, that it's not impossible for Coldest Pillow to win this, but in order for it to, things have to fall into place for Coldest Pillow to win this match. The first thing he has to do is just stay in touch with Monster and get down to the mix in the carom phase. If he does that in every rack, then he's got a good chance. But if he falls behind and lets Monster get to those caroms, you know, with plenty of time to spare, then he won't be winning it. And he might not be winning a rack for that reason as well. So he's got an opportunity here to right the ship in this first rack, get rid of the deficit, and build up whatever lead he can as well. Well, that would be the ideal situation. That if he can get to the carom phase a lot sooner than Monster, then yes, he'll give himself a good chance. The problem for Monster is that Monster's Achilles heel is needing to dig out a pot if he has to, and that can be the little chink of armour that Coldest Pillow can take advantage of. That weakness that is there. Coldest Pillow has the opportunity to take that advantage and get to these caroms a lot sooner. But I think if he really just needs to stay in touch with them and keep it close to the carom phase, because then it's anybody's. Although Monster would still be the fairly strong favourite with his ability to get these balls under control. So we're now on a par, 51 apiece. The run goes to 22. The problem now for Coldest Pillow is he's going to have to do exactly what I was talking about, dig out a pot. But that's one thing that Coldest Pillow seems a lot more comfortable with, is these pots don't frighten him. I still think that, you know, if anybody's going to stop Cobra winning this title again, Monster's the one that's got the best chance of doing it. But that depends what Monster might show up in the final if he gets there. It could be the good one, bad one, or ugly one, or all three at the same time. But we're not there yet, and he's not there yet either. So the priority now is don't do anything stupid. You've got a 10-point lead. You've got a run of 31. And you're still in pretty good shape here. Now, staying below the 1 can get that 3 ball back into play. There's an easy carom. Well, he's playing an unnecessary carom there to the 3, because that could have still went ugly. And watch the cue ball. Again, he's running that cue ball loose, playing draw shots to play caroms. Anything could have happened there. And now, of course, what's he done? He's killed his chance for a pot. And that's just because he didn't play that conventionally. He should have played those last 2 shots. He should have played conventionally. He shouldn't have touched the 3 with the 1 ball. He should have got the cue ball into the kitchen and then went from the 1 to the 3. And that's how he's got himself out of shape. That's exactly how that's went wrong, because he started pissing about. And you've got to keep it conventional. That's a good recovery, though. But he doesn't want to be having to do recovery shots like that. He wants to be doing things the right way. And he's sort of got away with one there a wee bit. And let's hope for his sake he learns his lesson and, not try to take liberties. And again, he's going to have to make a recovery pot here. It's a very dodgy thin cut in the 1, and it's a dodgy cut in the 3 up top. But again, he doesn't shy away from them. And that's where Coldest Pillow does have an advantage. That he's got a good... Well, I think he might have just killed himself doing that, has he? Has he got the edge? I think he has. I think he's fine. No, I think he's missed the 1 ball. Did he actually hit the 1 ball? Oh, what a numpty. He didn't hit the one. He didn't hit the one, but he's got a run of 43 and kept his points. Missed the very thin edge of the one. Well, what could have been there for Coldest Pillow? We'll never know. And Monster now with a deficit. Trying to get back into this. Has he blocked himself off of the pot? No, he hasn't. And now he can stay in the kitchen and give himself two options. Well, it might be running into a fairly close one, this first rack. Watch the cue ball. And he's going to be hampered again. He's going to be over that 3 ball. And that's ugly. Yeah, he's looking at the 3 ball instead because he was going to be hampered right over the top of that 3 trying to pot the 1. Well, he's still okay. Now, 5 ball needs to come off that rail. And that's not bad. He's got a pot, he's got a thin cut in the 1, and he's got the cut down the rail in the 5 now. Is he coming back the way or is he going up top? Well, that's not ideal because this is... well, he's played it at the right pace though, because that's sucker scratch territory he was in there, but he could see that coming. It just needs to slow up a wee bit, the cue ball. He's still good. The 1 ball is isolated at the moment, and now he's not good. Now it's a priority to keep the points. He's only got a slender lead. The bank gets her open. No. 1 ball up in that top right-hand corner pocket. Doesn't look as if he's going that way, though. Oh, he is going that way. That's nailed it. That's perfect. Well, now, again, very dangerous shot here. If he's going 5 to the 3, he doesn't want to hit that rail and hit the back of the 3. All sorts of ugliness could happen. He's going to go 3 to 5 instead. Yeah, that was by far the safer shot. If you go near that 3 ball from the 5 ball, that was asking for trouble. And Monster's made decent enough contributions here at each of his visits. He's on to 31 here. The score's up to 82, so just needs to keep an eye on it. And that takes him to 85. Now there's a danger here. Again, just controlled that cue ball well. A sort of soft screw shot he played there. That takes him to 86. And again, he's too straight in this 3 ball. He's going to have to thump this in to get the cue ball out. And that was about as good as he could get. Now again, got to be careful he doesn't push the 5 into the pocket. He could go to the rail and come into the back of the 5. That's by far the safest shot. And that's what he tried. Didn't get the line, but what he has done is he's got his points on the board. The run ends in 38. But Coldest Pillow, again, he's looking at a dead straight 3 ball. And now this needs to hit the 5 to give him an open table. And, well, it's all in Coldest Pillow's hands here because he's got a great opportunity. Monster's still a point short of the Karen phase, and if Coldest Pillow can hold it together and get maybe, 93, 94, get himself in the money and put the pressure on, We'll get a ball in play. But there's separation between these. He needs to get that 3 ball on its spot. And that's good. But has he got a pot to keep going? Well, the 1 ball will be it. And an easy carom to follow. Well, he's not missed any of these long pots so far in this rack, Coldest Pillow. He's not missed anything. And now it's going to be a little bit of a stunt. Going to be a bit of running in the 5 ball. Well, 3 to the 1. Oh, he's just gone below it. Well, there's a dangerous carom to play here from the 1 to the 3. And, well, he's got where he wants to be at the moment. It's a question of keeping these points. It's only a slender lead. And he doesn't want to leave an easy table here for Monster. He's looking and looking and looking. I mean, you can see the shot he can play. He can go 1 to the 3, but that's the danger. You know, he's caught the bottom side of the 3. Cue ball almost scratched, and he's also blocked off the path to the 5. And what, again, like I said, unless he moves that 1 ball to the other rail or somewhere further away, he's going to leave an easy start here for Monster. Well, I say an easy start. It's still a bit ugly, this, the way the 5 ball's sitting. I don't know that. I think is it too steep an angle to stud the cue ball into the 1? Yeah, he's trying to spin it to it. Yeah, he's got it. Oh, now I think he might be pushing it to get a wee edge here, and that's what's happened. The 5 has just caught the 3, and here's a great chance for Coldest Pillow. Great opportunity here. Good evening, good afternoon to Dabs. So that's the second person to have said something in the chat. Out of all these other 12 people that are watching, nobody's saying a bloody word. Everybody, feel free to chat. Feel free to ask any questions if you don't know anything about Cowboy. Well, the 1 ball almost out of commission. But Coldest Pillow, well, a risky shot here, trying to play the 5 ball, which again is a safer shot, and that's well done. And now we've got now this is where I'd be suckered into playing a 3-railer every day of the week here, which is not the shot. You know, you've got to run for cover here and duck and just roll the 5 ball to the rail and leave the table ugly. You know, don't leave anything to give Monster a good, easy start. And that's still a fairly ugly table. Monster's going to have to run the cue ball. Now, the obvious one is a 3-railer to the 3 ball off the 5. It's a big target, that 3 ball. You'd expect him to hit it, but there's also the danger of knocking it in and scratching off it as well. He's trying to stun to the 1. See, Monster's he's trying to go by the philosophy of don't be taking risky 3-rail shots. Now, to me, he might have just sold out there by not taking the risk. He's determined not to take the risk on the 3-railer, and I think he's going to be found wanting by not taking that shot there. He had to take the free railer. He's determined to avoid it and tried a more difficult shot trying to stun into the one ball when he had a much easier shot to play. Yes, there was dangers in doing it, but the problem is he's not at the table now because of it. And I think he missed a trick there. He really should have went for it. Well, this rack is Coldest pillows to lose now, and the way we'll lose this is by setting something up for Monster. As long as that one ball stays there, then Coldest pillow is out in this rack, and Monster knows that, and he can't leave that one ball sitting there. He has to get that one ball out of there for two reasons. First of all, so that he can score, and secondly, so that he doesn't leave an easy out here for Coldest pillow. Now, again, he's got to bite the bullet here and play the risky shot. He's trying to go right side of the 5 and go to the rail and bump the 1. Long rail into the 1. And he's played that well. And the 5 balls come down the table. Again, he's left a dangerous shot. Now, he could go 5 ball short rail into the back of the 3 here with a good bit of English on this if he gets the 5 thin enough. I don't know that he wants to hit this direct. And he's played that well. Now it gets very dodgy. Now he can do the same thing again here by going to the rail and kicking into the back of the 1, but there's a bit of room at the back of that 1. He could go thin that way to go to the back of the 1, but that's dangerous as well. And like I said, the gap was there, and this is teed up in a plate here for Coldest pillow. He just needs to watch that he keeps the 1 ball alive for the outshot. Let's have a look. I think that's pretty good to me. A little soft draw. And there you go. Well, Coldest pillow didn't do much wrong in that. He played 1 or 2 risky things in the middle of that first rack, but when it got down to the business end of the rack, he did everything pretty much as well as could be expected. But I think Monster has himself to blame there. I think he should have bit the bullet and went for that 3 railer. It could have been a whole different outcome if he had done. We will never know that, though. But after 33 minutes, Coldest Pillow's got the start he wants. And he's off and running in rack number 2. And of course, the prime objective, as we've said, is that Coldest Pillow has a couple of ways he can give himself every opportunity to win in this match, and that's by getting to the caroms well before Monster does, or at least staying with him right down to the wire. And, well, Monster was stuck in 89, didn't get to the caroms, and Coldest Pillow got in first, and then managed to build up that little lead. Watch the cue ball. Well, he said he was away on holiday. I don't know where he was. But, yeah, he's not been around. Again, he's very quick. Watch the cue ball again, coming off the top end of that one. Again, danger. Now, there are days like this where you're getting away with shots like that, and then there are other days where you do it all wrong and you keep finding the pocket. Well, he's missed the pot this time, but he's kept his valuable 31-point run. And now there's a bit of pressure on Monster. He's not getting an easy starter. Needs to keep a ball in play here. Now again, he's got a fairly straight 3-ball, and he'll have an easy carom to follow it. Probably a 2-railer into the back of that 5. Well, I've been doing an extra day's overtime the last couple of weeks. I did a shift today when normally today would be my first of my 2 days off, and I've got one more next week. And then I'll be back to my 2 days off. Day off tomorrow, of course, so I'll be up bright and early for possibly a game of cowboy doubles, although I don't have a great deal of faith that that's been going ahead all the time. I don't know whether it has or it hasn't. Yeah, I was at work. Well, Monster's Achilles heel comes back to haunt him. There's a check on the replay working. That's a bad miss, that shot right there. And he could be made to pay for that because his visit was only 14. And a 14 response to the 31 is no good. So he's feeling the pinch. And Coldest Pillow can drive home that advantage here. My ball just needs to come off the rail. Once again, nothing is set simple here. The 1 ball's off its spot, and he's still trying to get below it. And that's not bad, because he's still got 2 options here. He can play the 1 to the 5. He could play the 5 to the 3. Doesn't want to be hampered by the 3. In fact, he might actually pot the 3. Is he slightly hampered by it? See, the thing is, you can play this with a bit of right English and cut that 3 in and stay above the 3 and give yourself the 2 options again here, or go across the rail and make sure you're coming in behind the spot like that. He doesn't want to be too straight. That's perfect. That's perfect. To me, your odds in cowboy are far better in this phase if you stay above or below. If you can get the balls into that kind of shape where you've got 2 options when you come to play the carom shot each time, you know, now he's in trouble. Oh, no, he's not. He's on a carom. My bad. I thought he was on a pot there. Well, just grazed the 1, but he doesn't want to stick on it. And he doesn't want the 5 to block the pocket. Now he is in trouble. Easy enough, though. Well, again, he's got... I don't know why he's not looking at the 5-1. Does he realise he's on a carom here? What the hell's he doing? Five ball banks up the table. You want it to just bounce into play so you can pot it, but the 1 ball's now dead. So this is just threatening to go wrong, but if he stays left side of the table, he can play the 3 to the 1. And once again, you just want to hit it half ball either side. Doesn't matter what side. You don't want it full ball. And that'll do very nicely. So now you can get the 1 ball onto its spot. You can get the... Well, I think the 1 ball onto its spot and getting into the table will give you a fairly comfortable 1 to the 5. And this lead is building up, and the pressure is building up on Monster. But don't forget, the visit isn't done yet until he's kept his points. Takes him to 35. The lead is good at the moment. Welcome to Blade. Good evening. Oh, he's missed the 5. I think this will be a referee's call. Yep, he's missed it. So the run ends in 38. Monster with a lot of work to do. I mean, of course, in Cowboy, you're never out the game, especially if you're a fairly competent Cowboy player. You are never out the game. But what you have to do is you have to react, and you have to start contributing. Again, he's not perfect here. But again, the safest shot off the rail into the back of the 3. And again, once again, he's not good for a pot. This is not ideal. And that's what's going to let him down. Could do with a fluke here. He's not getting it though. And this is exactly the scenario I was talking about, where if Monster can't keep contributing and Coldest Pillow can take advantage of it, that'll get him to the carom phase. That'll, give him time to try and take each rack away from Monster. And the way this one's heading, it is looking a probably more like as predicted that it could happen that way. Exactly that way. Monster now is staring a 2-0 deficit here, provided Coldest Pillow can get to 90 like he should do. But again, he's playing draw shots to make the carom. His life's going to be very difficult, and he's got a very difficult pot to try and stay at the table here. A dodgy cut into the side pocket. And that's a great shot. So as again, he just has a look at it and doesn't think about it, doesn't dwell over it. That's an excellent shot. I wish I could do that. And now he's sitting very pretty. By the way, a belated happy birthday to Run Out Rob. I haven't been doing any streaming, so I haven't seen or spoke to any of you, but I know Run Out Rob said his birthday last week, I think it was. And Coldest Pillow goes to 89, needing a pot, of course. And again, he's got no option. He's got a very dodgy one. He's got to watch the cue ball, though. Playing the bank. And again, well, I thought he'd nailed that. Well, now it's a test of your character. If you're going to be a virtual world champion, Monster, these are the situations where you have to rescue yourself. What was it? Your birthday was before? My God almighty, I thought that was just last week. That shows you how bad my mind's getting. So your birthday was 4 days before mine. Well, this is big questions being asked of VPMonster here. Very big questions. Did he get any of that 3-ball or 5-ball, whatever it was? No, he didn't. He didn't, and the run is only 3. And there's an easy starter here for Coldest Pillow in the 3-ball. If he overcuts it, well, he's playing it really thin. I thought he was going to try and, well, you can see the line it's taken. He was actually potting that 3-ball. I thought he'd have been maybe able to try and get it down by the 1, but obviously he couldn't. And now he's going to have to make a shot here. Yeah, that was not easy. So another chance for Monster. Now that Coldest Pillow's into the carom phase, it's the point of no return for VPMonster. He's desperate to get this 5-ball in play. because the 5 ball was doing no good on that rail, and the one way it's going to help him is getting on its spot. So it's a long road back in this rack for Monster, but he has the chance. And he hasn't quite gone far enough in this cue ball. And the 3 ball actually going in actually helps him there, because he can now pot the 5 and play the 5-3. Three ball going to the short rail. Now he's just in trouble again here, because again we've got isolation between the balls, and he's going to have to get a good line. This is a bit thin, this 5 ball. Got to get the right edge, and needs to keep a ball in play for a pot. Well, it's a thin cut, but he can drop the 5 in. Once again, it's not an easy follow-up. Well, he catches the right edge, which was perfect. And now he's in reasonable shape here. I think he's just a bit too straight in the 3 ball, though, but I think he can play the 5 to the 3 once that 3 goes on its spot. No, he's coming up the table. And I don't know that that was a great move either. I mean, why he didn't just stay there? Why he didn't just stay there, and you could have played the 5 to the 3. But anyway, he's made it. But has he got a pot? Yes, he does. Just, I think. And again, his Achilles heel has let him down. The visit ends in 35. Coldest Pillow's going to be playing a risky one here. Into the back of the 5 and played it at a perfect pace. No danger of that scratching there at that pace. And he gets away with another one. Well, he's prepared to take those risks. I mean, who am I to be critical of how Coldest Pillow plays? He likes to play a bit fast and loose, the way I do, but you know, there are days you'll get away with it, and there are more days where you won't get away with it. But he's in a good position right now. He doesn't want to start doing too much numpty stuff. He wants to build on this. Oh, he needs to bump that. Yeah, I think he's still okay, though. If he can get the spin working in this edge of the 5 ball, he can come into the back of the 1. He doesn't want to hit this too hard. And that's perfect. That's absolutely spot on. Now he has to watch this 1 ball. He's got to try and be progressive here. You see, he isn't. Now, he maybe should have been better looking to get that 1 ball more adjacent to the 3 ball there. But anyway, as long as he's getting it together, he's doing it his way. Why should I be critical again? You do it his way as long as he keeps the points and keeps scoring. That's all that matters. The run is 7. Now, this is dangerous. Now, you want to make sure you're going to the rail here. And that's perfect. Oh, he's hampered, though. That takes him to 98. He's hampered. He's got to watch the line of the 1 ball. I think he's worried about the way he's obviously having to queue, because you can easily put spin in this cue ball. Unwanted spin. This. Well, he can get the stun onto the one. This will take him to 100. He just needs to hope the one comes out good. Oh, that's pretty good. But it's a very, very thin edge. He needs to get left English in this, because if you catch the jaw, you want to just help that cue ball into the pocket. Just a wee dab of left. He's got a bit more than a wee dab of left English on it. Yeah, he got it too thick. The English trying to judge the hit on the edge, and that was very difficult to judge. But you're putting the left English on it just because if you hit that knuckle there, it pulls it into the pocket. Well, it's last chance saloon by a mile here for Monster in this rack. Now, can he dig himself out a huge hole? And can he... And now, again, I don't think Monster's in the notion of trying to protect this one ball, but it's vital that he does. He's going to be more concentrated in scoring. But there are times you just have to take what you can get and then duck to try and stay alive in this rack. We'll see if he does. Well, he's got to really run out here, hasn't he? I mean, that would be the best way to pinch this second rack, is just getting himself right into the carom phase and running out. But like I said earlier, if you're going to be a champion and win this event, that's the sort of stuff you're going to be asked to do. And more importantly, you're going to have to deliver. Now, I think what he's done there is just ruined his chances straight away. But at least he's not left a one ball good for Coldest Pillow. But he wants to get that one ball well out of there if he's going to try and keep scoring. Trying to use the 5 to get to this one. He's left it a bit too much of a stun here. Yeah, that's risky, but his cue ball's getting bumped, all sorts is happening. But he does still have a pot. And that needed to slow up, and it's not quite slowed up. Again, he's just getting that wee bit more distance than he would like between these balls. And there's the root cause. He's missed the carom because of it. The visit is 24. And what's more, the one ball on its spot. And you can go force follow into the side pocket here off that one. This is a good line for it. This for 2-0. That's perfect. Absolutely spot on. Picked the line there. Did everything right. Dead weight pace. Just catches the jaw and drops in for 2-0. Well, so far, this is a perfect scenario for Coldest Pillow, the way this has gone. He's not done anything really stupid. He's been solid. He's scored. And no sooner have I said that than... I tell a lie, it's Monster at this table. My bad. What time is it? Well, it's 5 to 7, so I can't even say that it's getting late for me, because it's not. Well, if it keeps going this way, then I'll be able to watch Rangers getting humiliated. See if it can be it can't be any worse humiliation than Celtic got last night, because that was a pile of shit that I watched last night. but they got what they deserved because I mean that team were for the most part devoid of ideas. I mean they couldn't take corners, and what does that say about how bad Celtic were over 2 legs against that team? And they couldn't score a goal. And they had chances late on, couldn't do it, and then couldn't score penalties either. Well, Rangers have got a mountain to climb. And talking about mountains to climb, VPMonster 2-0 down, and really has to be putting on a score. But, you know, it sounds simple, but if you do more things right in these games, you're giving yourself better chances to come out on top. It sounds like an old cliche, but what Coldest Pillow's done in the first 2 racks, he's scored, he hasn't thrown away points, and more importantly, the scoring has put the pressure on his opponent, and he's getting the exact result of it, where Monster's not scoring as heavily. The potting is letting him down, you know, to keep him at the table. And like I said, right now, that's exactly what he's just done. The visit ends in 35, and he's, you know, Monster's allowing Coldest Pillow to get back at him each time. So it's a long road to the finish line for survival here for Monster, and that
Where's the cue ball going?
had to get to the rail first, and Monster now has a great chance where Coldest Pillow's failed to score. Monster's got the 35-point lead, but that doesn't matter. It's what he gets now that matters. You won't be on till 9. I'll probably be back in my bed at 9 o'clock. Anyway, see you later. And we probably won't have any cowboy because we won't have enough players to play cowboy doubles at that time in the morning. Monster might be away drowning his sorrows at that time of night, depending on what happens here, obviously. Well, again, he can go off 5 onto the 2 rails into the 1, or 1 back to the 5. Same thing, same method, using the 2 rails. Now, the slight problem here with the 5 ball is he's got a bit more angle on this 5 ball cut than he would like, because it just means the cue balls want to leak away up the table. And he's got to be careful how he plays this, though, because this cue ball's heading towards the side pocket. Yeah, that was dangerous. It's actually finished not too bad, though. Oh, he's missed the 3. Would you believe it? He's missed the 3, and that's a big fail. And it's only 16. The lead is 51. Coldest Pillow been given a second chance here in this rack already. He's going to have to dig out a pot, though. I think that's not too bad. That's pretty good. Oh, if this cue ball keeps running, that's even better, because he can now get the 5 ball on its spot. That's not as planned, but I'll tell you what, that's a great bonus. And very quickly, these points are racking up here for Coldest Pillow at the moment. So that deficit can come down fairly rapidly. Needs to slow up. He's trying to play the 5-1. He's still okay. Again, that shot there's the risky one. You know, did he have to play that as hard? But you know, he's thinking getting the 5 ball on the spot because he's wanting to score. So he took a risk and he's got away with it. But no sooner did I say that than he's missed the pot in the 5. So Monster now has to capitalise. This rack, well, apart from the second rack where he got to 89 and he fell short of getting to the carom phase, this is most certainly his best chance right now. The fact that he's at the table and he's scoring at the moment, although he might not be scoring too much, he's going to have to play a recovery pot here. Oh, I honestly think he's hit that too hard. I don't know where he was planning to go here. He's again got big distance between the two. But it only takes one decent shot to get things back under control, and I think he's not far off it. I mean, once they've cut pots, this, it doesn't matter. Well, he doesn't want the cue ball to come up into a line. And that's fine. And again, he's going to have to play the recovery pot. The 1's blocked off by the 3. He's got a dodgy thin cut in the 5. And situation has been resolved. Can he see the 1? Yeah. Now, if he stays there like that, you know, he's got the line from the 1 to the 5, which is good. And this is almost back under control, really. Now he can hold the cue ball. If he's going to play the 3, he can leave it. He can shape it up for the 3-5. I think he can. The angle looked maybe a bit too much. Let's have a look. Well, not really. He's coming back the way to... He's only going to have one option here. And it's a big distance. He's got the hit, and he's also got balls in play for the pot to follow. Takes him to 81. And now, of course, he needs to keep an eye on the scoreboard. He can't be engrossed so much in scoring that he forgets where he is, because it's a lot of effort to throw away these points. That 1 ball needs to stay alive. And... oh, you can see the 5. I thought he was going to have to play that thin cut in the 1, but he can see enough of the 5. And he can try and get above the 3, which he's done. That's perfect. Takes him to 90. Oh, watch the cue ball. And now he's in dodgy territory. Now he doesn't want to be taking a risk here. It's 40 points. He's on 91. Coldest Pillow's a mile behind. And he's got to play safe here. Or at least not play anything so risky that he's going to lose points. And he's running the 5 ball. But he's okay. I bet he panicked a wee bit when he saw that 5 ball going around the 3 rails, but he's okay. He's kept the points. The run is 40. But more importantly for Coldest Pillow, for Monster. He's into the carom phase. Coldest Pillow's got all the work to do now. And Monster favourite to at least keep himself alive and getting himself on the scoreboard. So Cobra lies await in the final. In fact, strangely enough, I haven't seen Cobra around. He might be on vacation, is he? Cobra trying to win his third Virtual Cowboy World Championship in a row. And that cue ball misses the one. One scored by Monster. Another lifeline for Coldest Pillow. But again, Coldest Pillow only scored 4 points in his last visit. So he's going to have to stick a barrel load on if he's going to have any chance in getting out of this rack and winning the match. Now this is dodgy. He's played it well. Well, he can pot the 5 and stay up top and at least give himself 2 opportunities for a carom. How does that look for a line? That's perfect. That's fine. Well, he would have liked to have been comfortably potting the 5, and that way he would have married up the 3 and 5 there for an easy carom, but the cut's a bit too tight. So he's going to stay below the 1, give himself again 2 options and how he goes about getting the carom. He can play the 1 to the 3, he can play the 1 to the 5. Well, Monster won't be panicking yet in this rack, but the longer Coldest Pillow stays at the table, the quicker these points are building up and the deficit is getting reduced. Well, he's looking at the thin cut in the 3, but to me, the ball to pot is a 5. Yeah, it was a dodgy cut, and that's where the cut has let him down. And it gives Monster, well, he's back at the table. He's not got an easy start, but the shot is a spin into this 1 ball. Oh, he just caught it. Cue ball stays alive. The table, I don't think, is finished that great for him, though. He's going to have to let loose here. Well, he wasn't far off it. Now, he's at least left a carom as a starter anyway for Coldest Pillow, but I think this is really the Coldest Pillow's last chance, I think, to get to the carom phase. He might get another one, but you would think that if Monster comes back to the table with an easy starter to get him off and running, you think that would maybe take him to the finish line in this rack. He's running out of time, Coldest Pillow. Like he's too straight. It looks as if he's too straight to me. Has he got it? No, he's trying to get to the one. How's it? Oh dear. That one ball just get grazed out the way, but I don't think the cue ball was going to hit it anyway. And again, Monster's not left with an easy starter. What am I talking about? Did he graze it? He must have grazed it. I think my eyes have gone. I was lying back in my chair there, so I'm to blame for that one. I'm trying desperately to keep my eyes open because I can feel the usual beginning to take place here. I'm beginning to go downhill. I'm beginning to go downhill, folks. Don't know that he got it that time though, did he? No, he didn't. And once again, nothing is an easy starter. Each time Monster's come back to the table, he's not had a comfortable, easy starter. I mean, there is a two-railer into the 5 here. He can draw to it as well, which is what he's tried, but he's coming out behind it. I think it was far easier to go the two-railer to get to that, where he was going to come down here, go to the rail and hit the 5 that way, but he tried to go direct. And each time he's doing it, the little voice in his head might start to speak a bit louder to him that he's not getting to the finish line here in this rack. And this is the beauty about Cowboy. Each time Coldest Pillow comes to the table, he's always got a chance to get right into that deficit and get to the carom phase. Now, the fact that Monster's only 93 is extremely dangerous for him, because Coldest Pillow, if he can get in with a sniff here, he could run out with a 3-0 win in this match, and it's well possible. It is very much on. And who would have thought about that before this evening event started? And once again, you're just hoping to keep a ball in play. He's going to have to play the one. He's got no problem with a carom to follow, but he's going to have to get the dodge. Oh no, he is on a carom. My bad. I've gone downhill again. He's on. What am I talking about? It's Monsters at the table now. Yeah, this is all going pear-shaped for me. The brain is in shutdown mode. I don't know what the hell's going on. But what I do know is that this will alleviate the pressure of the Monster if he can take this out. These balls are sitting perfect. He just needs to nudge the 3 around the angles and keep it this end of the table. Just like that. Oh, now he's in perfect shape here to get out. Did he get the hit? He's just lost them. Oh dear. Well, that's a complete disaster. That's the one I was wanting.
Outside, never mind.
That's the one I was wanting. That's a huge fail by VPMonster. A huge fail. He's got to be kicking himself now. It might be panic stations in a minute here. Oh, you're just going to have to put up with me. But then again, if you've been around often enough, you know what happens with me when it gets to this time of night over here. My brain starts to go shutdown mode, get to bed mode, and I start seeing things that aren't happening, if you know what I mean. So I'm going to make mistakes left, right and centre at this time of night. But it's very much my bedtime. That's Going to get in. Takes him to 84. And Monster, I think he'll be chewing the fingernails now, because he knows the way this is possibly going to end up. And the 5-ball will get Coldest Pillow breathing right down Monster's neck, although the balls are a bit far apart here. Now, this is a very thin edge. Got to hit the 1/2 ball. And now he's got to make a recovery, Karen, because the table is not ideal for running out here. He needs one good shot to get things into play. And when I say one good shot, the one good shot is manoeuvring an object ball that you're hitting and bringing it into play with another ball that's somewhere else on the table, and he hasn't done that there. And the visit ends in 12. He's 1 point behind. And Monster's got another chance, but he's missed the starter. And what's more, he might have teed it up there, but that one ball just come into line. You're going inside, in the back. That's a good shot. Is the one ball staying in play? Yes, it is. But he's going to have to start running the cue ball here. And this is neck and neck. This third rack. And again, very well played from Coldest Pillow. And he can bring the one ball down into play with the 3. And that's pretty good. Again, if he's thinking about progressive here, he's got to be careful with the cue ball. I think he's just going to take what he can get here. He's not taking any risk on that shot. These are vital caroms. Pressure on Monster by the barrel load here if he gets back to the table. Well, another soft draw, bump the 3 around the angles down into this 5-ball. Oh, that's almost perfect. It's just left everything a bit thin. It's left everything a bit too thin here. Yeah, he knows the shot he wants to play, but it's just too thin. He's got to be brave, though. I mean, the shot is most certainly on. He'll probably end up hitting the 5 full in the face if he goes edge of the 3-ball. He's trying to do something silly. He's got the double kiss. He's took a risk. He's got away with it. And that is a shot you don't want to be playing, but he actually played that deliberately there. That was, it was a good shot, but very, very risky. But you know the old saying, he who dares wins. It takes him to 99, a run of 7, and one more 3-railer here for the nudge and the 1. Got to be brave. He's looking and looking and looking. I know the shot I'd be playing. I'd already have played it. But it looks like he's going 3-ball across 2 rails to the back of the 1. No, he's going to the 5. Superb. Excellent shot. But can he get the 1 ball out the way for the cue ball to scratch? It looks very dodgy. This for the match. And a 3-0 win after an hour and 19 minutes. I think this is very touchy. Oh, he's got a little double kiss. How did it not go in? Look at that. Wow. And Monster is well and truly up the you-know-what creek without a paddle. Well, I don't know how that didn't go in. He got a little double kiss in that one ball. I thought that was helping the cue ball in. And Monster going all out. Well, at least he's going to... Well, I thought he's going to block the pocket. Now, Coldest Pillow cannot hit the 3 ball here. If this cue ball hits the 3, it's a foul. He's going to try and stun this in. This for the match. And he's hit the 3. If the cue ball had went into the pocket off that 3, it would have been a foul anyway. You've got to get the cue ball in that pocket clean. And Monster's troubles have just doubled because the 3 ball is now blocking the pocket. But what it will do is it will give him a safety zone to push this 1 ball and try and stay alive. I think Monster, you see, Monster, I think, has got it in his head to just try and score here to get started, but that's no good. Because all he's done is he's teed up the scratch into the side here. All or nothing, Monster. He should have just banked that 1 ball to use the 3 ball. This for the match. And totally unpredicted. But there is a way to beat Monster. And Coldest Pillows found that tonight. That's very well done. And he's going to have a second go at Cobra in this year's final. A 3-0 win by Coldest Pillow after an hour and 21 minutes. And there was not a lot that Coldest Pillow did wrong in that match. He did most of it right and applied the pressure. And Monster's Achilles heel came back to bite him. And that's how you lose in these tournaments. So the rookie, Coldest Pillow, gets a chance to have a go at Cobra in the defence of Cobra's title. Now, just a quick reminder, the hot seat match, though, Cobra done Coldest Pillow 3-0. And it has to be said that Coldest Pillow was nowhere near the mark in that match than he was in the match he played tonight. It was like night and day. But if he can play to that sort of level where he is scoring and he is putting the pressure on, he will give Cobra a match in the final. So that match has to be played by September the 1st. I'm looking at the semi-final match. So the deadline is September the 1st. I'm sure there won't be a problem with them arranging the match. Good luck to them both in the final. Well done. Very well done to Coldest Pillow tonight. That was very well played. And a shock score against VPMonster. Hope you enjoyed it, guys. I'm off to watch the football. Well done, Coldest Pillow. That little vacation helped your cause, but you need to keep that form up to get revenge and stop Cobra from winning that 3rd title. Right. Don't forget to hit the like, folks, and I will see you again very soon, whenever that might be. I don't know, but the final will be soon enough, and hopefully it's a time I can get it. Bearing in mind that the final is to 4, so if it's going to be a race to 4, then I would suggest to both players that they arrange the final to start at 5 p.m. I don't care what day of the week it is, but if I'm going to stream it, it cannot start at 7 o'clock at night because it could go on too long. Right, folks, I will bid you good evening. Take care, and we'll see you again very soon. Good night.
No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool. Nothing else.